was that. So we had an unhappy former employee, but this happens. And usually they move on.
Right.
Sometimes they're just not suited for the work, and they move on, get a job somewhere else. But he had remained in town because every now and then someone would run into him at the grocery store or someplace like that. But Kelly, I don't recall getting a report of any run-ins or difficult situations I'm talking to Kelly Zuber, our director of news. So there was not a lot of concern, but something happened.
Jeff, we're going to move on and talk a little bit more. We'll be back with you in a second.
Well, it's right at noon. Why don't we just summarize for people turning in at noon for WDBJ 7 News at noon, and then move on to other people.
To update on the breaking situation, Vesterly Flanagan, his real name, Bryce Williams was his name as a reporter. He was here as a reporter here at WDBJ 7 until he was let go 2 years ago. There's his picture. You will recognize him, no doubt. He has shot and killed himself. He was the suspect in this morning's deadly shooting of our own Allison Parker and Adam Ward during the live shot this morning at Smith Mountain Lake.
It almost seems, as I'm hearing you say, it's surreal.
It's surreal. I was on the air when it happened, and I got to say, that was the last thing that I thought had happened when we heard those sounds. We thought that it was a car backfiring or possibly fireworks. I mean, you never know. That was the last thing that I thought it was gunshots. And we heard her screaming, and and she. It was just horrifying. There was a third victim that we definitely need to mention, Vicki Gardner, who is an employee with Smith Mountain Lake. Allison was actually interviewing her this morning live. She's with the Smith Mountain Lake Chamber of Commerce. She is out of surgery. She is in stable condition and hopefully will recover. And so that is the little bit of good news that we have to report from this whole incident. But we want you to know who Allison and Adam were, not just as employees here at WDBJ 7, but as great people, young people with bright futures and so much potential. And Joe DeShiel is here with that part of the story today. Joe, thank you for being here.
Well, Kimberly and Jean, regular viewers of our morning program should have a pretty good sense of who Allison and Adam were, from Allison's work in front of the camera, Adam's interaction with the morning crew behind the camera and on the air. Allison was smart and ambitious. Adam was a capable photographer who would go the extra mile to get the job done, and they had a lot in common.
I'd say so.
They
if
work
you get a
together
picture of
every
the guy
morning.
that shot
I wanted to
you.
go through a sleep study to see if my job impacts how I snooze. Adam and I work the same early morning shift, but have completely different sleep schedules.
Both Allison Parker and Adam Ward were natives of this area.
Hey everyone, I'm Allison Parker. Photojournalist Adam Ward and I are putting the final touches on our special report.
Allison grew up in Martinsville, Adam in Salem. Allison was a graduate of Martinsville High School and James Madison University. She loved the outdoors.
In Salem, Adam Ward, News 7 Sports.
Adam attended Salem High School, where he played football. He was a Virginia Tech graduate and a huge Hokie